Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome again to Canje Plays, and we're going to be getting into some Arkham Horror, Dunwich Legacy, Dunwich Legacy today. We went through the first scenario where we had to go to the university, Miskatonic University, to help Professor Armitage deal with some problems to find his two lost buddies. We killed a creature that was terrorizing that came from the labs, and then we went to a gambling casino where a pit boss followed us around, and then we beat the snot out of him. Found the exit. Someone else down there was like, "Hey, help me," and then we're like, "Yeah, no," and so we left. and But we did get Professor Armitage. He wasn't kidnapped, so he was added. And I was actually using the Arkham Horror DB Android application to keep track of it all. So I've got everything set up here, but let's go ahead and get some information, and we'll get into scenario 2 of the Dunwich Legacy cycle, the Miskatonic Museum. So let's do this thing. Number 2, Arkham Horror. So I'm doing each one so you just don't keep seeing the same Arkham Horror box, and you can also see the ratings for both, for all of them in the Legacy cycle. So this one is the Miskatonic Museum Mythos Pack, which is scenario 2 of the entire Dunwich cycle campaign. So it comes in like this little small little pack that has a lot in it, but it's a fairly cheap. I think it was about 15 bucks, 20 bucks for the whole thing. So it wasn't too bad. I liked it. I got it. So it's cool. Anyway, BGG has it as an 8.1. Remember, Arkham Horror LCG is like really high up there. I think it's number 7 thematically on the list for their all-time greatest. So that works out. Designed by Nate French and Matthew Newman. Published by Fantasy Flight Games and a slew of other people, and the amazing artists that do the work on here is great. So, what more is there I can say about that? Let's get down to the table. Alright, so we've got everything pretty much sort of set up around here, so I'm going to get into, and I know you see my big body in the way, so you can't fully see Joe Diamond's deck that he has here, but he'll be here. I'm starting to use dice for their health. So instead of adding horror, we'll just be ticking up dice or ticking down health until they are expired or exhausted. So without further ado, let's get into, and this is what comes with it, right? It's like folded up, so it's the second scenario that you see here. So let's get it. Actually, before we do, let's go take a look at what we got here. So I upgraded the decks where necessary, and I added in the relevant items so you can kind of read along with me instead of me blinding my eyes reading this thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So several months ago, Armitage and his colleagues stopped the rampaging horror from tearing through Dunwich, a backwater town several hours north and west of Arkham. At first, you imagine this beast as a rabid bear or worse, but the professor's description of the creature paints a different picture. It all began when a man named Wilbur Whatley entered the Orny Library looking for Olus Wormius's Latin translation of a book called the Necronomicon. Wilbur already possessed a beat-up English translation by John Dee, but it was insufficient for his purpose. Armitage turned the man away, fearing what use the strange man had for the book. Whatley returned in secret, hoping to steal the book, but was attacked by a hound guarding the university. Armitage, Rice, and Morgan, which Rice and Morgan were the ones that were kidnapped, later discovered Whatley's body. A description on the file course, semi-anthropomorphic and covered in fur, with a leathery hide and greenish-gray tentacles. It causes you to question whether or not Whatley was truly human. So, Professor Henry Armitage wasn't kidnapped. He and Roland are now best friends. My colleagues and I were quick to put the ordeal behind us, Armitage says with a sigh, but it seems that things haven't fully resolved themselves. I'll tell you the rest later, but for now, it's imperative that we get our hands on that copy of the Necronomicon. If my instincts are correct, the assailants you've encountered will be searching for it. After all that transpired, I don't feel safe keeping it at the library, so I brought it to my good friend Harold Walstead. He is the current curator of the Miskatonic Museum. I thought it would be safe in the museum's restricted halls, but now I'm not so sure. You must retrieve it at all costs. I fear terribly what they could do with the rights contained in the pages. So we've got setup where it tells you what to do. Whoa, sorry, roll heavy. So we've got our, and let me hide this out of the way. We've got our deck here for what it has for us to shuffle up. So we will shuffle that, and it says part one of the two museum administration. Put one of the two, part one, right? Put one of the two museum administrator offices locations and one of the two security office locations into play at random. Remember the other versions of the administrative office. We'll remove them from the game, then put the entrance and the museum hall location into play. We all begin at the entrance. All right. So shuffle. We love to shuffle for shenanigans. And we know that we can see here he suffered two. He has 2 mental trauma on him to start with 9 health. He has 1 with 8 health. All right, so that's shuffled up. And administrative offices, which you can see here. And I'll read it to you as we go. So, odds, evens. Odds, so that one. This goes out of play. Odds, evens. Odds. It's an odd day. Get it? Odd day. Alright, so we start off at the museum entrance. Museum halls. Okay, so that's the museum entrance, which leads to the museum halls, and the museum halls leads to these 2 areas. I don't have my arrows unpacked just yet. So, let's get to reading. Oh, other stuff to do. The exhibit halls. There's 6 of them, 6 exhibit halls. They all say exhibit halls on them. Nothing really special. They all say the same thing. What we need to do is, let's see, shuffle the restricted hall and 2 other ones. So this is the restricted hall, and you can see it say restricted hall here at the top. And 2 of the other ones at random. I don't care. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. 2. So shuffle these. Put them together to form the bottom cards of the 3. It's here. Then we shuffle these. So it's somewhere in there, which means we'll be walking through the museum dealing with garbage. Shuffle those up, put them on top. And then we set some cards out of play. Shuffle the remaining encounter cards, which we did. We will shuffle this. Lots of shuffling. And I usually like to do this for people who are going to watch this later or who've never watched it, watching it now, because I don't want anyone to ever say, "Hey, he stacked the deck to win the game," and I'm not, I don't do that. So, do investigation. So Joe Diamond gets an insight deck. Basically, he gets an extra card draw. So, yeah. Shuffle those up. Over to Mr. Roland Banks. Our 2 detectives, the private investigator and the federal. Hope everybody's having a really great morning. So, ready? Okay, dokie. You draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he has strange solutions. Inquiring minds. Manual dexterity. Medical tech. Research librarian. That's a good one. So we can mulligan here. I'm probably going to keep the research librarian. Healing would be cool. Manual dex for running. Insightful minds. And you have identified the solution. I want to know more about this. I don't have a weapon, and someone might say, you don't have a weapon. Get a weapon, dude. Healing is cool. I'll get rid of the medical text. I want to know more about this. I found the solution in the book. I really want to know what that means. Inquiring minds for if I really need to test runaway, and the research librarian's good. So I'm going to mulligan this guy to get deduction. So if skill test is successful, discover 1 additional clue. Back in here. Shuffle. And he'll reveal, I've got a plan. As his insight that sits on there. Starts off with 5. 2, 3. 4, 5. 2. 4, 5. So this will be his starting hand here. 4, 5. I've got, give me some guts. Emergency aid, Ade. Bandolier, okay, so that's cool. Unexpected courage, and the Elder Sign Amulet, which was his upgrade. So that's staying. Bandolier staying, unexpected courage staying. Guts will probably stay. I'll put back emergency aid to get manual dexterity. Alright, we're ready to do the thing. Let's do it. Do it. So we all start off at, because I did not even, I am not prepared. Where are my investigators? They're around here somewhere. I'm sorry, I'm just looking for my investigators so I can put them at their starting locations. That's not them. They must be in here. They are not. Where are they? Gotta put my one size fit all quote unquote box in here. See if I can find my. Oh, here they are. Got them. Okay, so we start off at the museum entrance. Let's flip that, and it says Miskatonic, investigators at the museum entrance cannot gain resources. I can do an action to resign, which is how important can a book really be anyway? But there are 2 clues on here. And that's where we begin. So, glasses, right, and story. Dr. Armitage has given the university's Latin translation of the Necronomicon to his associate Harold Wolstead, the curator of the Miskatonic University Museum. Worried that someone might still be after the book, you've gone to the museum to recover it. So forced, when the hunting horror enters play, attach the set-aside copy of Shadow Spawn to it, or add 1 resource to a Shadow Spawn if it is already attached. Cool, 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 cool. Finding a way inside. Unfortunately, the entrance to the museum is kept locked at this late hour. A security guard is visible through the building's front window, oblivious to his surroundings. Perhaps you can find a way to get his attention and convince him to let you in. And we need to just commit 2. This is not 2 per investigator, just 2. Okay, so which is that? Let's get started. Remember that the phases that we go through, we skip the mythos phase and we go straight to investigator phase to start. So my man here, my main man, he is going to, well, his is 4 to go investigate. So we have to beat a 3, trial 3. So let's lay out this stuff first. I'm going to spend 2 as my first action to put out research librarian and use her to get a book of bookiness. Get a tome. Reshuffle. And I'll hold it up just now for you all to see the goodness. All right. So this is what I pulled out. The old book of lore. Exhaust old book of lore. Choose an investigator to location. That investigator searches the top 3 cards of his or her deck for a card. Draw it. Shuffles remaining card. So cool. Cool. So that's and I believe that symbol is a free action to kick that one. So let's make sure. I had all these down, then I moved. Like all the symbols, I knew what they meant. But I believe it's a free action. I will tell you shortly. Here we go. A triggered ability is an ability prefaced by that symbol. Reaction triggers. A triggered ability with a specific triggered condition may be triggered. They've used triggered like 4 times. Anytime the triggered condition is a reaction triggered ability with a specific triggered condition may be triggered anytime that triggered condition is met. When? After research is listed. Oh, after it's a reaction, so nope. It does not cost one of my actions. Muhahaha. Alright, so action number 1 was to put out the research assistant. Action number 2 is going to be let's see if we can get this over with. I'm going to use deduction to do a search or investigate. So it goes up to 6. And it's 3, and it says if the skill test is successful while investigating a location, discover 1 additional clue at that location. So I got 2. And we're putting those 2 there. So that was action number, this one in my hand. Search the deck, assets, and add it to your hand. So playing this, I needed to play the 3 to do it. So that's all my 5. So 1 play the research librarian, 2 old book of lore, 3 investigate, get the clue, and advance. Look at that. Look at that. We're doing great. If the investigator spent clues to advance, you find the window nearest to the guard and tap it loud enough to get his attention. He gives a startled jump, then shifts open the window. What do you want? He asks timidly. You explain the situation to him and tell him he is in grave danger. He warily opens the front door to the museum, shaking his head. I wasn't even supposed to be here today. So choose an investigator to take control of the set-aside Adam Lynch asset. Adam Lynch. Here he is. The museum guy. So this is what he looks like. While you control Adam Lynch, Treat two action abilities in the security office as if it were one action. When Adam Lynch leaves play, remove him from the game and add that weird token to the token bag for the remainder of the campaign. Okay, so we need to make sure he doesn't die. Gotcha. Okay, so he is going to go to the main man because he already has the professor with him. So Adam Lynch will go to you, and we'll shuffle you in a second. What else we got? What else we got? What else? Okay, cool. Choose, let's see. Reveal the museum halls. Advance to Act 2A, Night at the Museum. So reveal the museum halls. Museum halls says the entrance to the museum is locked. You cannot move into museum halls. Museum entrance gains action, basically breaking the door down to get in if we needed to, but we're doing flip. Museum halls is connected to each copy of exhibit hall. Investigators in the museum halls spend one clue as a group. Put the top card of exhibit hall into play. Okay, so we've got this. That's what we're working with. Museum is connected to each copy of the exhibit halls, so I'll just kind of line them down here. So as an action, investigators in the museum halls spend one clue as a group. One clue per investigator as a group. Put the top card of the exhibit deck into play unrevealed. Okay. So we've got the administrative office, the security office, and we've got that. So we're in the museum halls. There is no clues in here. Draw to 2. And you're done. Because it says it puts them in there. Okay. So I will shuffle this into his deck. And all my cards to sleeve are over on my not dining table, my counter. So let me steal one from over here. I can steal one of these. Here. And shuffle you into. Tap on the window and tell him he's in danger, girl. All right. So that ends his turn. We are done. 2A. There's 2As. Oh, it says which one to go to. Act 2, Night at the Museum. So we don't have to do that one. The Necronomicon is being kept in a restricted hall somewhere in the museum. Adam barely knows his way around and gives a startled jump at every creak of an old building. I just started here last week, he explains. What sort of trouble did you say was going on? You haven't the heart to give him the full story. Objective. If an investigator enters the exhibit hall, restricted halls advance. So we have to find the stinking restricted hall. So we got to go through 3 exhibit halls. Then maybe it'll be the 4th, 5th. Well, it'll be either the 4th, 5th, or 6th hall that we go into. Story build, right? Story time. So let's get Roland rolling. Remember, we got to set up for some success. So action number 1, we'll put down the Elder Sign Amulet. And the Elder Sign Amulet is an asset that stops us from going crazy, especially since we're going crazy. So option number 2, we're going to start a walk-in, and we're going to go to the security office. Maybe. But we got to find old boy. So let's go to administrative office to see if we can find him. So he's going to go to administrative office. You cannot investigate administrative office while you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand. What? What? Okay. Cool, cool, cool. 2 per investigator, so there's 4 in here. That's dumb. But the shroud is 2, so that's dumb. Okay, so action number 1, put down this amulet. Action number 2, move into the office. Action number 3, draw a card. Kukris, good, good. I need a weapon. Okay, so that's his actions. He's done. All right, enemy phase. No enemies to fight us just yet. Recovery phase, we get a resource each. We get a card. He has prepared for the worst. And he has Dr. Armitage. Cool, it says, after you draw a non-weakness card, discard the card and exhaust Dr. Armitage to gain 3 resources. Cool. Alright. Respawn them. Then we start doing bad stuff and put 1 on. You. Lock door! That is the worst place to lock the door. Like, the worst place is basically, it's attached to location. I cannot... Well, I can't investigate. Attach a location with the most clues. And without a locked door attached. The attached door cannot be investigated. So it's going down to the administrative office with Roland. And I have to spend an action to break the door or pick the lock. Awesome. Cryptic Chill. Revelation tests sanity. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. His is 3. I have to beat a 4. And play that. And these 2. So I'm committing. So it's at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. I'm going on. I have to beat a 4. Yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep it real. Straight up fail will do it because I don't feel like losing that amulet right now. Hey. So this goes away. All right, investigation phase. You have 4 cards because you can't investigate, but the door's locked. Are you fleet of feet? No, but you have enough to break it down at the Dora. So he will pull out Kukris for 2 as action number 1. Action number 2. Would just be a straight 4 roll. Or a straight 4 pull. Ooh, manual dexterity. Let's see if we can take that lock. Nope. So I was trying to pick the lock. Let's see if we can break down the door. Straight up roll. I need clues, man. I need clues. That is -1, 3 instead if hunting horrors at your location. So, nope. That ends his turn in utter disgrace and failure. Alright, so you said you're going to action number 1 to go to security office. So 4 in here. Look at the reveal side of an exhibit hall in play or the top card of the exhibit deck. Limit once per turn. Ooh. So action number 1, we've got 4 clues here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Action number 2. Let's go clue shopping. So I got a 4. I gotta be a 3. Sweet. That's 1. Action number 3. That's a hard failure. That exhausts him. Okay. Enemy phase. Any enemies in my face? Nope. Refresh phase. Refresh. Refresh. Clue. Clue. Card. Curiosity. Oh, and I was supposed to have a new revealed card for this. This would have been shortcut. Here it is. So now it is seeking answers. If you investigate, if you succeed, instead of discovering a clue, discover a clue at a connecting location. Ooh. That's an event, though. And you get knife. Okay. Bad news. Bears time. Twist of Fate. Revelation. Reveal a random token from the Chaos bag. Positive numbers. That's what I'm looking for. Positives. Yes! If you reveal a star symbol or positive number, nothing happens. Sweet. You, though. Stalked in the dark. If the hunting horror is in play, it readies, engages you, and attacks each investigator at your location. Otherwise, Stalked in the dark gains surge. Voices of future past. Revelation. Test sanity for 5. For each point you fail, discard the top card of your deck. No! I gotta equal it out with 5, so I'm gonna commit Dr. Armitage for the 2 question marks. Oh my gosh, no. Oh, I made it. Woo! I lost him, but that would have been awful. Okay. Investigator phase. Rolling, rolling, rolling. That place is not going to help you. So let's start off with my man. It says as a group we need to do it, so he just needs one more clue. Let's go for it. We spent the turn doing absolutely positively nothing. It's -1, where he has 4, so -1 is 3, which is meets, so he gets it. So that's 1, 2, spend the 2 to get the exhibit hall out. First exhibit hall is up. Okay. So that's his 3. He's done. Alright, Roland. I think that's just kind of like a lost cause. 1, 2, and investigate. Nope, failure. That's the end of you. Any monsters aboot? No. So then resource gathering. Get 1, get 1. Nope, wasn't going to do that, so that goes to the bottom. Well, discard, sorry, not bottom. Discard. Goes to discard. It's card. Brother Xavier. Brother! This was an upgrade card he got. This guy's pretty good. And he gets first aid. Decent, decent. Then we go, that was the refresh phase. We add a doom to here, and bad stuff happens. First up, pushed into the beyond. Revelation, choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of the asset is discarded, take 2 horror. Choose and control a non-story asset you control into your deck. A non-story asset. So it would either be the research lab. No, that's Miskatonic. It would have to be the old book of lore. Shuffle it into the deck. You got it. Discard the top 3 cards. One, 2, 3. Nope. That was awful. Alright, your turn. Beyond the Wall, Surge. Revelation, put Beyond the Wall into play in your threat area. If there is no copy of Beyond the Wall in your threat area. Forced. If your deck has no cards in it, take 10 damage and discard Beyond the Wall. So this is going to kill me. Sweet. 10 damage. I can't take 10 damage. Oh, okay. And it gains Surge. Curse Luck. Revelation, put Curse Luck into play in your threat area. You get -1 skill value during skill tests. After you succeed as a skill test, I can by 1 or more discard Curse Luck. This isn't gonna end well. Alright, so you, my man, have no weapons. None whatsoever. But you are going to be my dude. So you're going to come over here to this exhibit hall, which has 4 Shroud exhibit hall. So it says forced. After you enter this location, discard 2 cards from your hand at random. Why? Why are you doing this to me, game? Why? Alright. 2 cards from my hand at random. Please don't lose Brother Xavier. I need him. And you can only have 8 total. And this was the revealed card, which was Seeking Answers. Instead of discovering a clue at your location, discover a clue at connecting location. So that was 1. The Shroud is 4, which is 4. So silly. Alright, well, I'm going to commit Inquiring Minds to the test to boost my from 4 to 7. -1 if you fail, search the... I didn't fail, so I don't even need to read the rest of that. So, got a clue, so that's 2. And... oh, this would have readied back. Let's prepare for a fight, shall we? So I'm going to use this event, spending 1 to search the top 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for a weapon. Knife, Adam, flashlight. So I got a knife. And shuffle the deck. So it goes quick, right? It goes pretty decently. Alright. I'll put that in my hand. So one was search, 2 was drop that card. 3 is going to be putting the knife down. I want to make sure I read that right. 11 cards, and shuffle them into a separate hunch deck. Oh, it shouldn't have been, they get their own discard pile. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So they get their own discard pile. Okay. That's his 3, he's done. At least he can defend himself now. Roland. Rolling. -1 on the skill test. All I've got is this. So let's action number 1 to get a card. Action number 2 to play Roland's 38 special, which has 4 ammo on it. And instead of using, where did I put it? Here. Instead of using the ammo cache bits, I'm going to use the dice to indicate 4. Okay. Roland, then that's 2, 1, 2, 3. I can't commit jack to getting this stuff, so I'm just gonna straight up search. Straight up. +1, it did work. So it was 3, it became 4. That was succeeding 1 more, -1, 3 -1, which would have been 2, +1, 3. Got it. That ends his turn, so we can get the next exhibit location. This up a little bit. His board stuff going on. Tiny table, people. Tiny table. And the pain that he has to deal with, so the next one could come in here, which is what they're going to do now. 1 clue per investigator is a group. Okay. Oh, why did I do that to myself? It wasn't 2 clues, it was 1 clue per investigator. 1 clue as a group, so per investigator, which was the 2. That's right. That's right. So, okay. That is a turn. No enemies to fight. Resource updates. 1, 1. Card fun time. I got the old tome back. And then that goes to discard. This flips over. I get connect the dots. Fast play. After you discover the last clue at your location, discover 2 clues with a lower printed shroud value than with at a location with a lower printed shroud. Blah 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 blah. Just get 2 clues after I do that, and that's fast. And that's a 4 cost. I'm probably going to do that. And that's probably going to happen. And it's -2, so I can afford it. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. Alright, Fresh. He gets 45 automatic. Can't beat that. Then Doom, 1 away from advancing. Bad News Bears. Test 5. For each point, discard the top card of your deck. I am going to commit Curiosity to that. Five straight up. Nope, I lied to you. That would be 3. While you have 4 or more cards in your hand, I only have 2. Curiosity gains +1. While you have 7 or more, gains more than 1. So it was 2. This made it 3. So I lose 2 cards from the top of my deck. For each point you fail, which is 2. So emergency cash and my assistant. Please don't be anything worse for him. Cryptic Chill, test 4. If you fail, discard an asset you control or take 2 damage. Commit First Aid for a full 4. What does that do? -1. I fail. I'll lose the kukris. I'll lose the kukris. Okay. Got one more round before bad stuff starts happening. Alright, so turns now. Okay. This is cost -2. So first action is I'm gonna spend 2 to put this event to do this event to get this clue. I'm at 4. So let's do it. 6, 5, which is more than enough to beat that one. So I get the last clue. It says fast play. After you discover the last clue at your location, discover 2 clues at a location with lower printed shroud value than your location. Cool. So lower printed shroud value than your location, 2 clues, which is this one. I'm not investigating, I'm just discovering 2, so I got those. So now we can open up 2 doors. So that was 1. That was a fast play, so that didn't cause an action. So that was 1 to do that search, fast play, get that. 2, action 3 to get the next exhibit hall item out. Okay, Roland. He can get the next one out, but I need you to get this. Well, you can't, can you? Alrighty. Let's see. I need you to get rid of the stupid thing. And you don't have anything for searching. So 1, 2 to go to this one. And this is the exhibit hall. Forced. After you fail a skill test while investigating this location, lose 1 action. Oh my gosh. Alright, so 1, 2 per investigator. 2. Shroud is 3. That's where he is, so that's 2. I don't know if he can. Well, this is last action. Let's take advantage of bad writing. Alright. -1. If you fail, search the encounter deck, discard pile, and the void for haunting horror, and spawn it at your location if able. Oh, Roland. He came up just in time, Roland. Just in time. For your action to end. He spent 2. That was the end of his turn. Alright. Cool. That was bad. So, that was bad. This is bad. Okay, so Hunter, enemy phase. At the start of enemy phase, reveal a random token from the bag. If it's any symbols are revealed, ready hunting horror. When hunting horror leaves play, place it in the void. Okay, so he's already ready, but that doesn't matter. That's just at the start of enemy phase. And then he punches me in the face. This thing's gonna take 1 crazy. Of the 4 that it has 4 crazy on it. It's gonna take the 1 crazy going down to 3. And I'll take a punch to the face going down to 8. Okay. That's the end of the enemy's phase. It has retaliate, so if I miss and it hunts us, so it's going to follow us into pain. That's the enemy phase. Refresh phase. card. Preposterous sketches. Play only if there is a clue in your location. Draw 3 cards. It's free, and he gets guts. And it's free because this inside deck is -2. Roland gets curiosity. Okay. Let's not deal with this just yet. Let's talk with my man here. He's gonna spend 2 to get another exhibit and play. That's 1. He can't fight for beans. Well, no, it's a 4. I gotta beat a 3. He can't fight for beans. 2. It has let's see. Oh, it has 3 health. It has 3 health and its fight is 2. So I gotta beat a 2 to kill it. Okay, so let's do that. So number 3, he's gonna fight with a knife, and it's gonna be +5. So 3, which is enough. So it takes a damage. I should have put on there that it has 3 health. Now it has 2. So that was 1 reveal, 2 move, 3 fight. Roland is going to shoot it with his 38, which gives him a +1 to fight. If there are 1 or more clues on your location, you get +3 instead. This attack deals +1 damage. So I'm fighting with a 7 -1 6 5. So I hit it for 1, and this trash goes away. And then I'm gonna shoot him again. Yep, that's more than enough. He goes into the void. The void is not the discard. It's just off to the side, and he is there until he comes back. So that's 2. And then Roland is going to search, committing curiosity to it. That is 3, which is enough. Okay, things are looking not horrible. So Roland can now go over to the museum and spend an action to reveal, hopefully, what we need. Hopefully. So let's shift these over a little. This is a locked area. We'll shift these over. The exhibit halls. That's where they are. That's here. They all point back to museum. Okay. Enemy attacks. No enemies to punch us in the face. So we get resources to refresh. Refresh. This goes to discard. This pops up. I've got a plan. It costs 1. It's a card. Hyper awareness. Ooh, that's a card to have. This. And you get no. His cover up. Put cover up in the play in your threat area with 3 clues on it. When you would discover 1 or more clues at your location, discard that many clues to get rid of cover up. I get a mental trauma. Since the clues are green, I'll make it green. Okay, so there's 3 on it. Not cool. Okay. Mythos phase. Check for advancement, which we are advancing. Oh, and I forgot that when Hunted Horror enters play, attach a set-aside copy of Shadow Spawn to it, or add 1 resource to the Shadow Spawn if it's already there. So I had made a boo-boo with that. Shadow Spawn was supposed to go with it. Shadow Spawn remains attached to Hunting Horror if it enters the void. Hunting Horror gains +1 fight, +1 health, +1 evade for each resource on Shadow Spawn. So there wasn't any resources. If there is at least 3 resources on Shadow Spawn. Okay, so yep, I messed that up, but we'll fix it. We'll fix it. All right. So what happens next? So that was a mistake. When Hunting Horror spawned, I should have added Shadow because of the ability that was on here. To make it had 1 more health than 3, but it did. No, it wouldn't have. It would have just been spawned. No, it said add 1 resource. No, if it's already attached, add. I didn't mess up. I was fine. I was fine. It just spawned on it. It wasn't already there, so cool. Now, if it would have, what would have happened is if it would have spawned again, like before this advanced, if it would have spawned again by some monster twist of fate to say spawn it, it would have then got a resource which boosted his health to 4. All right, so from the shadows of the museum hall, a terrible creature slithers forth, long and serpentine, and propelled by black leathery wings. If Hunting Horror is in play, add 1 doom to it. Nope. If Hunting Horror is not in play, search the encounter deck, discard pile, and the void for Hunting Horror, and spawn it in the museum halls if able. So now it is spawned in the museum hall. Shuffle the encounter deck, discard pile into the encounter deck. Cool. So yeah, that's it. And I'll read that in a sec, so let's get back to this awful life. And museum halls is where they need to go. So I have to kill it. Again. And it keeps coming back, and I need to find the restricted halls. That's how I win. Or I get out of dodge. Okay. Alright. Reshuffled. The shadows in the museum grow and become darker. As the shadows lengthen and shift, they begin to suggest the sinewy body of an uncanny creature darting at the periphery of your awareness force. When Hunting Horror enters play, attach the set-aside copy of Shadow Spawn to it, or add 1 resource to Shadow Spawn if it is already attached. So it's already attached. His health goes up to 4. Okay. Roland's got everything he needs, but he would have to go fight this creature. So, let him do that. So he'll move from here to here. And he'll spend an ammo to shoot. There's no clues here. So he will also add Bandolier. So he'll make it. So it's 4, 5. Oh, and I have to beat 2. Nope, he won't add Bandolier. So it's 5, he's got to beat 2. Yep. And it does, the attack deals +1 damage, so it's 2 damage to him, so he's down to 2. And then I will shoot him 1 last time. And it's 4, 5. I'll add the Bandolier. 6 committed, so 6. +1. 2 damage. I kill it. Nice. So that's all his actions to kill that thing. And without spending an action, he'll just commit 2. Oh no, it is an action to do it. So 1, 2, 3. That's the end of him. He's done. Okay. You, sir, are going to do some searching. You're going to spend your 2. You're at 4 and you have to beat 3. Spend 2. I won't have any resources to make it work. Let me put Strange Solutions out, and I'll commit that to it to make it 5. Sweet, +1. Clue. Just do a straight up one. -1. Hunting Horror is not at my is at your location. It's not at my location. So -1 from 4 to 3, which is still enough. So that's 2. And 3 to go back here. And that ends his turn. Monsters! There are no monsters. So resource gather up. Killed that stupid thing. This goes to discard. Working a hunch. Fast play. Only during your turn, discover 1 clue at your location. And it's free. Sweet. Plus you get Fingerprint Kit. Exhaust Fingerprint Kit. Spend 1 supply to investigate. +1 for your investigation. If you succeed, discover an additional clue. That's pretty cool. Pretty baller. And Dynamite Blast. Yes, please. Yeah. 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 Alright. 1 Doom. Bad News Bears. If Hunting Horror is in play, it readies, engage, and attack you. Otherwise stalked, gains Surge. Test 5 Mind. For each point, discard the top card of your deck. I'm at 4. Oh wait, Guts. I'm at 3. Actually, I'm at 2, 3, 4. 5. I don't feel like this. Yeah, I'll keep the ultimate, so I'll lose 1 card, worst case. I lose 2 cards, even worst case. 2 cards gone. 1, 2. I lost my gun. No. No. All right. That's that. You good sir. Terror from Beyond. Peril. Revelation. Choose one of the following card types: assets, events, or skills. Each player must discard each card in his or her hand of the chosen card type. Well, I'm not doing assets or events, so I'll choose skills and just say, see you later, jerk. Okay, so that ends that. They're re-readied. Roland is going to spend 2. Put out the next exhibit. That's 1, 2. Medusa exhibit. Forced. After you fail a skill test while investigating this location, discard an asset that you control. So that's 2. There are 2 clues on here. If it was the last card in there, I'm going to be furious. Let's see. I am going to be very furious. Then he's going to spend. I need to keep that dynamite. He is going to gain a resource. He's going to gain a resource. So that's 3. That's all he's got. The man here is going to spend his 2 to find the next one. So that's 1, 2. He'll move to it. Please. Restricted Hall. Yes. Restricted Hall. While a hunting horror is at your location, this hall cannot be investigated. So restricted hall, found it. We advance to the next thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank the maker. Okay, so When you enter the restricted hall, you find the curator of the museum lying in a pool of blood, his intestines strewn about in a grotesque display. Your stomach turns over and you resist the urge to vomit. Whatever did this is still nearby. Search the encounter deck, discard pile in the void, and all areas for hunting horror and place it in the restricted area and advance to 3. So, wow. I will do that in a second. Somewhere in the area is an Olos Wormius Latin translation of the Necronomicon. You must find it and escape while you can. Objective: if there are no clues remaining in the exhibit hall, advance. The restricted area, advance. So we have to get all 4. And where's that stupid creature? I killed him. He went somewhere. Here he is. So he spawns here. Fun times indeed. With when hunting horror enters play, attach the set aside copy or add 1 resource. So it goes from 1 to 2. So he has 5 health now. He has 5 health on him. Ugh. Okay. He gains a plus per resource. Let me make sure I read that right. This is start of enemy phase. Here it is. This thing. He's getting stronger. So he gains a +1 fight, +1 health. So let's get some markers out. Because, once again, I screwed that up. Oops, wrong bag. So we'll do fight, health, everything. So speed, fight, and that's his health on there. So he gains a +1. So his fight is no longer 2, it's 4. His health is 5, and his duck out is 4. He just keeps powering up the stupid creature. For every resource, if there are at least 3 resources on Shadow Spawn, Hunting Horror gains massive. There's 2 so far. So let's see what massive means. That's bad. That's very, very bad. Massive. 15. We might have to leave this book. Massive. Massive is a keyword ability. A ready enemy with the massive keyword is considered to be engaged with each investigator at the same location. Oh. So an exhausted enemy with the massive keyword is not considered to be engaged with any investigators. An enemy with massive keyword cannot be placed in an investigator's threat area. When an enemy with a massive keyword attacks during the enemy's phase, resolve its full attack against each investigator engaged with it. When an enemy with a massive keyword makes an attack of opportunity, that attack resolves against the investigator who provoked the attack. The massive enemy does not move when an engaged investigator who moves away from the massive enemy's location. If an investigator fails a combat test against a massive enemy, no damage is dealt to the engaged investigator. So 1 more clue and bad things happen. You can punch for 4. I got a beat of 4. I don't have anything to fight you with. I can try to evade you. Ew, no, I can't. My punch is 5. Punch will be 5. So I'm using a knife. 6. Sweet. So I just knock you down from 5 to 4. And then I'm really tired. Enemy phase. He's gonna punch my guy in the face. Research librarian, you're gone. 1 and 1. You'll still go both. So that's the only enemies. Resource phase. Yeah, I'm checking the 10 number here. So resource phase. I gotta get all the clues off of there or get out of dodge. So refresh. Refresh. Get a card. Shortcut. Fast play, only during your turn. Choose and investigate your location. Move them. So before he dies, that might be a card to play. You get evidence. Fast play. During play after you defeat an enemy, discover a clue at your location. That would be interesting. The Dynamite is coming out. He can take 3 damage. I can beat him with the Dynamite. The Dynamite. Alright, so bad things are happening. Please don't stop my plan. Please. Slithering behind you. Revelation. If Hunting Horror is in play, add a Doom token to it. So that's 2 Doom now. Yep. Put Beyond the Veil in your threat area if there is no copy of Beyond the Veil in your threat area. Good. It's like, come on, people. Alright, so Roland's going first. Roland's going to move back to the halls for 1. He's then going to throw the dynamite. Spending 5 to blow up here and hit for 3 damage, and he'll take 3. For 2. And then you will move into the area for 3. Your turn. You have 5 fight. Four, which is matches, it's enough, so I kill this creature for 1 damage. The dynamite worked wonderfully. Go back to the void, you stinking creature. So that's 1. Let's get some clue grabbings. Grabbing some clues. I'm going to spend 4 for number 2. Put this in, which this gets 3 supplies on it. And number 3, I'm going to use one of those supplies to investigate for a +1 for a 5 spot. For 3, which is enough, I get 2 clues off of there. We've got a chance. We can do it. I just need to get the clues off. That's all I have to do. So that's his job. And that ends your turn. Monsters a boot? Nope. So, resource gathering? About. Monsters about. Unsolved case. So his weakness came up. Place one of your clues on a location with the highest shroud. 2, 3, 3. One of my clues. If unsolved case would be shuffled into your punch deck, add it to your threat deck instead. Threat area instead. For the remainder of the game, if forced. When the game ends, Joe Diamond gets 2 fewer experience if he leaves it, so it's a problem. Place one of your clues on the location of the high shroud. Remove unsolved case from the game. If unsolved case would be shuffled into your hunch deck, add it to your threat area instead for the remainder of the game. When the game ends, so it doesn't get shuffled in. When the game ends, so yeah, I lost a clue, and it's removed from the game. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. Okay. That sucked. So let's see. Yeah, that was 3. All right, we got to get these last clues. Let's see. He drew that. He drew that from there, and then he got unexpected courage. He gets flashlight, which he's definitely gonna use that to try to win this. Boom, boom, boom. Test 4, discard 1 asset you control. It's a straight pull. No, it's not. It's 2. Unexpected courage, 3/4. Now it's a straight pull. Fail. It's not a straight pull. And I lose the knife. His turn. Just a fate. Reveal a random token from the bag. Come on. Come on. Odd number. If you reveal any other number, take 1 damage. Okay. They are back at it. Action number 1. He's going to spend this to search for 5 against the 3. 4 gets 2. Action number 2, he's going to burn it all. +1. That's action number 2, folks. Got them all. So if there are no clues remaining on the exhibit hall restricted area, advance. Okay. At last, you find the locked case containing the Necronomicon. The tome, over 800 pages in length, is filled with all manner of macabre imagery, formula, spells, prophecies, and descriptions of creatures from beyond the threshold of space. Without a doubt, it is a dangerous book, but its secrets could be useful. The investigators must decide. Choose 1. It's too dangerous to keep it around, we have to destroy it. Or it's too valuable to destroy, we have to keep it safe. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. So... Ooh. Ooh. I don't know. If you want to see that. I don't know. I mean, I think like I think I would. Should I burn it, or should I? Let's see. We got the resolution. I'm not gonna cheat by reading ahead. I just want to know what to do. What to do. Should I burn it, or should I keep it? I mean, it's kind of twisted. Could be a cool item to have. Let's burn it. Let's roast this book. It's out of here. So, let's see. We're going to. It's too valuable to sorry, it's too dangerous to keep around. We have to destroy it. R1. So, resolution 1. So let's go on back to our app and say what we are going to do. All right. So, resolutions. Resolution 1, we are going to light this book up. Seed. Investigator status at the end of the scenario. They're both alive. Resolution 1. As long as this translation of the Necronomicon exists, there will be sorcerers and other foul agents like Waterley seeking it. In the end, you know what must be done to protect humanity from the threats you've seen. You find a trash bin and fill it with books and documents, throwing the Necronomicon on top. It takes several matches to set the contents to the bin alight. The flame fills the room with heat, and the creeping shadows retreat from its light. You watch the book burn for some time, its pages turning to ash. You can only hope you've made the right decision. If you need a token to the chaos bag, if you need to add a token to the chaos bag, use undo and select adjust chaos bag. In your campaign log, record that the investigators destroyed the Necronomicon. Each investigator earns experience. So where did we pull everything from? We finished this one, so we've got 1 victory point. And that's it. We just got 1 victory point. Oh no, and we finished this one. We finished the exhibit hall, which is 2 victory points. So we got 2. Proceed. So, this guy's cover-up book was in play, and it says when the game ends, Joe Diamond earns 2 fewer experience points for the scenario. So, Joe gets nada. My man Roland takes a mental trauma because this was in play. And he never got down to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He had way more than that, so that didn't come back to bite with it. But that did. So you got 2 experience points. Cannot trouble free off. Oh, did it kick me out? Oh man. Alright. Let me see if I can log myself back in. 1 second. It kicked me out. The jerks. Okay, so alright. So let's see. We got to the Essex County Express. So that is the next scenario, scenario 3 on there. We finished up the Dunwich. We completed it. We lived. I killed the snake like 3 times, but that dynamite was awesome. But I did make 1 error, and I want people who are watching this later, because I know that they'll tell me I messed up. The second time the snake came out, it was supposed to have 4 health instead of 3. So I did mess that up, and that's on me. But we got through it. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. It happens. So that's on me. I will just know that when you're on that, if you play the scenario every single time it comes out. I wonder if Adam Lynch stays in my... I'll have to look up on BGG to see if Adam Lynch, the security guard, stays with me, because he did not die at all. And we didn't add anything to the bag. So we had 1 hull left to pull, which was the Athabaskan. After you enter the location, lose all your remaining actions and immediately end your turn. That would have made me furious. Wow. So we lucked out. We definitely lucked out. Let's go ahead and I'm just kind of putting these back together as we talk. So that's Arkham Horror, the Miskatonic Museum Scenario 2. Next, we'll be going to Scenario 3, which is the Essex County Express. Going through that funness. Yeah, I gotta look up and see if Adam Lynch stays with Joe or if he goes back to the deck. He probably goes back to the deck because he's not gonna come with us everywhere we want to go. So I'm gonna assume, especially since he is an encounter card, I'm gonna assume that's what happened. So yeah, stuff. I'm also going to upgrade Roland because he's got 2 experience. So he'll be upgrading something. And we'll be doing what we do. That's pretty much it. Very short and sweet. Took us not too much of time to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I lived and my bag draw was not awful. Which means the next game I play where I roll dice, which is Deep Madness, I'm going to die. Because my dice rolls are usually terrible. Anyway, it was fun having you here today. Thank you so much for joining with me. Deep Madness Sundays tomorrow, then back to Gloomhaven on Monday. Then Wednesday is the Q&A, and we will have some fun. So, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Insert comment here. See you later. Bye.